You won't believe what happened when an entitled HOA Karen decided to break into my private sauna. I've been looking forward to some peace and relaxation when, out of nowhere, she just waltzed in like she owned the place. But the audacity didn't stop there. She thought she could just take over my space without any consequences. So, what did I do? I turned the tables in a way that she never saw coming. In the world of HOA drama, there's always someone pushing boundaries, thinking they're above the rules. But when you mess with the wrong person, things can get interesting. What started as a peaceful evening quickly spiraled into a showdown of petty revenge, and let me tell you, this one was on a whole new level. But here's the kicker. I didn't just kick her out. I left her with a little gift she wouldn't forget. And trust me, it wasn't something you'd want to experience. Curious? Well, stay tuned, because things are about to get seriously wild. You'll want to see how it all went down, and I'm sure she'll be talking about it for years. What's next? Keep watching to find out. Now, let me set the stage for you. I live in a gated community where the HOA has way too much control over everyone's lives. You know the type. They love to enforce the smallest rules and have zero tolerance for anyone who dares to go against them. And of course, Karen, the queen of the HOA, is always there with her clipboard, ready to make life miserable for anyone who doesn't follow the rules to a T. I've been in my new place for a few months and finally decided to treat myself to a private sauna. A little personal retreat to unwind after a long day. I'd invested time and money into it, making sure it was set up just how I liked. Everything was perfect until she showed up. It started with a knock at the door, just the usual check-in she was known for, though I had no idea she'd go so far this time. She'd been trying to make a fuss about safety regulations for months, claiming I needed to do this or that with the sauna. But this time, I didn't open the door. I figured, it's my place, I'll enjoy my privacy. But that didn't stop her. Somehow she got in. I'm still not sure how. Maybe she had a spare key, or maybe she just had some sort of access. Either way, she was in my space, snooping around. I couldn't let this slide. As I stood in the hallway, trying to figure out what was going on, I heard the faint sound of footsteps echoing from the direction of my sauna. My heart sank. How could she have gotten past me? I knew the HOA was obsessed with controlling everything, but this was next level. The sauna was meant to be my escape, my place to relax and recharge, and she had no business being there. I quietly moved towards the sauna, peeking around the corner to see her standing there, inspecting every corner as if she was some kind of inspector. She wasn't just looking for violations, like she claimed. She was taking notes, jotting down details, and making her usual passive-aggressive comments. I couldn't believe it. This was beyond her usual petty nagging. She was invading my privacy. The tension in the air was thick. I wanted to confront her, to ask how she got in, but I knew that if I did, it would only escalate things. Karen loved drama, and I didn't want to give her the satisfaction. I needed a plan, something that would teach her a lesson without putting me directly in her line of fire. But what could I do? I couldn't just let her think she could walk all over me. That's when the idea hit me, something subtle, something she'd never expect. A little surprise, something that would make her regret ever stepping foot in my sanctuary. It wasn't violent or over the top, just a perfect touch of revenge that would make her think twice before messing with me again. But what was I going to do next? I stood there, heart racing, watching her take a few more notes. Every move she made felt like it was crossing a line. My mind was racing too, trying to think of the best way to handle this. Confronting her would just make everything worse. But what if I could turn the tables? What if I could give her a taste of her own medicine without causing a full-blown argument? I quickly checked the time. It was late, and the neighborhood was quiet, just the way I liked it. No one was around to witness what I was about to do, which made the plan even more perfect. I went to the utility closet, grabbed a canister of the strongest, most unpleasant-smelling stuff I could find, skunk spray. It was something I'd bought a while ago after a run-in with a raccoon that had gotten a little too close to my trash cans. I didn't expect to ever use it, but now it seemed like the perfect solution. The idea was simple: release the spray in a way that would hit her as soon as she stepped out of the sauna. She would be trapped in the thick, stinky cloud, unable to avoid it. A few minutes of that would be more than enough to make her regret her little invasion. I moved quickly but carefully, making sure everything was set up just right. The air in the sauna would trap the smell, and once she stepped outside, she'd be hit by it in full force. I couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction building inside me. Karen would finally learn that she couldn't just walk into my space without consequences. But just as I was about to make my move, I heard her footsteps again. She was coming out of the sauna. My heart skipped a beat. Was she about to leave, or was she planning to stay longer? Was I about to face the wrath of Karen, or was my plan about to unfold perfectly? The tension in the air was thick, and everything felt like it was hanging by a thread. Would I pull it off, or was I about to make things even worse? Just as I was about to release the spray, I heard a voice, a low, calm voice that stopped me in my tracks. "I know what you're doing." My breath caught in my throat. I spun around, adrenaline rushing through me, to find her standing at the entrance of the sauna. Karen wasn't leaving after all. She hadn't just stepped out, she had caught me. Her eyes locked on mine, her face unreadable. There was no panic, no shock, just a smirk. She knew. She'd known what I was planning the whole time. My heart started pounding harder. How did she know? Did she see me move the spray can? Was she waiting for me to make my move? "You think I don't have eyes everywhere," she said, her voice dripping with smugness. "I've been watching you for a while. You think I'd let something like this slide?" The confidence in her voice sent a chill through me. She wasn't just some HOA Karen anymore. She had a plan of her own. It wasn't about safety violations or petty control anymore. She was playing a whole different game. I tried to steady myself, but the truth was starting to sink in. She'd been anticipating my every move, and now it felt like the tables had completely turned. Her next words only confirmed it. "You're not the only one with a few tricks up your sleeve." My mind raced. What was she planning? I'd been so focused on teaching her a lesson that I hadn't even considered that she might be plotting her own revenge. The suspense was building, the stakes higher than ever. Now I wasn't just trying to get her out of my sauna. I had to figure out how to escape whatever trap she'd set for me. I took a step back, trying to steady myself. Karen had been waiting for me to make a move, and now that I had, it felt like I was in her trap. I tried to think fast, my mind racing. The tension between us was thick, and her smug expression made it clear she thought she was in control. But I wasn't about to let her get the best of me. Not now. I took a deep breath, trying to regain my composure. "What's your plan, Karen?" I asked, trying to hide the nervousness creeping into my voice. "You've been snooping around my place, and now you're trying to intimidate me. Is this really what you want to do?" She didn't answer right away, her eyes scanning my face as if she was deciding how best to make her next move. Then, with a slow smile, she said, "You'll find out soon enough." I was done playing games. It was time to end this. I grabbed the canister, holding it out in front of me like a weapon, ready to release the spray. But as I was about to do so, I heard a sound that stopped me dead in my tracks, the unmistakable screech of a door opening. From behind me, I heard another voice. "What's going on here?" I spun around, only to find the last person I ever expected to see standing there, my neighbor, who happened to be an ex-cop. He had apparently heard the commotion and came over to check. Before I could even react, he walked right past me and straight into the sauna, looking at Karen with an unreadable expression. "Thought I heard something. Guess I was right," he muttered. Karen's face drained of color. She wasn't the only one who had been watching. My neighbor had been quietly observing the whole situation, and now it seemed he was going to be the one calling the shots. It wasn't the showdown I expected, but in a strange twist of fate, it was the one I needed. As he talked Karen down, explaining how her actions were crossing some serious legal boundaries, I couldn't help but smile. It was over. Or at least, that's what I thought. Just as Karen started to leave, I noticed something strange. A small, almost imperceptible look of satisfaction on her face. Was she planning something else? What had I missed? As the door slammed behind her, I couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't the last time I'd deal with Karen's games. The story might have ended for now, but I had a feeling the HOA drama was just getting started. As the door slammed shut behind Karen, I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. My neighbor, the ex-cop, gave me a nod of approval before heading back to his own place, leaving me to process everything that had just happened. It was over, at least for now. I couldn't help but feel a strange sense of relief. Karen had been put in her place, and for the first time in months, I felt that I had some control over my life again. But as I stood there, still processing the chaos, I realized something important. This wasn't just about a private sauna or petty revenge. It was about standing up for yourself when someone tries to take what's yours. Sure, it got a little crazy, but I learned that sometimes you have to push back against people who think they can walk all over you. As for Karen, I'm sure this won't be the last time she tries to make my life difficult, but next time I'll be ready. The HOA drama isn't over, but now I know I can handle it.